All right, it is My Guys in the Desert as we welcome you back. Amal Shah, Vinny Magliulo. We're about to get more sophisticated here. Scott Butera, president of Interactive Gaming for MGM Resorts. A big announcement today. Of course, MGM is launching an app in Nevada. A little bit of a soft launch, but today officially it launches, and congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. It's a great day. First, before we start, I just want to say it's great to be here at VSiN. I love this studio. I love the South Point. I live right down the street. It's one of my favorite places, so always love being here. But at BetMGM, we're doing some really exciting stuff. When we set up our platform a little over a year ago, we wanted to have what we thought would be the most comprehensive sports betting experience you could have. And for us, that means having great properties and fun properties. You know, we've been investing in sports for many years, well before sports betting, and we like that sort of festival atmosphere. Sports bettors are great resort customers and all work kind of well. But we want to take that and then combine it with outstanding technology. And, you know, at the time, we really didn't have that because no one was really doing sports betting the way they're doing it now. So the joint venture with GVC allowed us to capture that technology, bring it to the U.S. So now between the properties and what you're going to be able to do on BetMGM, plus the content we get through our league deals, you have deals with all 5 major leagues and Yahoo and Buffalo Wild Wings, you know, it just brings it all together to what we think is the most outstanding, you know, in-game experience you can have.
Now, the app itself, Scott, how will it separate itself from other books?
You know, really what it does is, it's sort of the platform. You know, it's the whole integration into MLife and MGM Loyalty. So if you're a customer of BetMGM, you'll be rewarded with stays at places like the Bellagio or Aria, shows like Bruno Mars, Lady Gaga, or one of our 450 restaurants. So part of it is the platform. But secondly, the technology itself is a whole new experience. The user interface is incredibly user-friendly. We have many more betting options. You know, if you're betting on a game, you can have as many as 30 to 40 prop bets on a game. You know, we integrate, you know, across multiple platforms for data. We get data feeds from all the leagues. So between what you're getting to educate yourself as a bettor and being able to make bets is pretty robust.
Scott, great product, and congratulations on it.
Thanks.
I wanted to get your thoughts on it. I mean, obviously we're so familiar with what goes on here in Nevada, right? And for so long now, with sports wagering expanding, and this particular platform where you're going to have other offerings, other jurisdictions.
Yep.
Do you see where we can benefit from other jurisdictions to where now in Nevada we can start to see, hey, listen, let's try to enhance some of the things we do. You and I talked off air, for instance, maybe one wallet for race and sports, because presently, you know, they're separate right now.
Right.
So your thoughts on that?
Yeah, you know, it's interesting with this whole sports betting thing. You know, they repealed the national, you know, ban, but the businesses are really state by state, and in every state you have different regulations and different things you can do. You know, some have, you know, statewide mobile, some have you have to register to sign up at a casino, some have amateur sports, some don't, some have iGaming, some don't. So you really get to see, you know, what works and what doesn't. And there's no doubt that having single wallet, ease of use, having a customer be able to do whatever they want without a lot of friction is critical. You know, and in states where we don't have a lot of friction and have a lot of betting opportunities, that's where you see your highest revenues. Places like New Jersey, you know, which have kind of gotten equal to Nevada in a short period of time because of that type of flexibility. So I think ultimately all that stuff will come because, you know, as you look at the way legislation passes, typically people try and get done what they think they can get done.
Yeah.
You know, politics is so messy, so you get something done, and then what you realize is you improve it over time. And as you get comfortable with it, again, nobody was, other than us, you know, here in Nevada, nobody really did sports betting. It was an illegal business. So a lot of what we did in the first year was just educating legislatures. But now that, you know, jurisdictions can see what's really working, I think you go back and see adjustments, and I think we'll ultimately get there.
Outstanding.
Scott, from a player's perspective, speak to a little bit about the ease in with which players can deposit, make withdrawals, and also in terms of the apps, what are the hours of operation on it going to be as well?
Yeah, well, you'll be able to use the app, you know, 24/7, and we have ease of operations in multiple ways. One, for the initial sign up, everything can basically be done on the app. You just have to come to our casino to make the initial deposit. We also deployed over 100 kiosks on the Strip, you know, as part of this rollout. So that's a great experience. And, you know, people love kiosks. It's a way to have kind of a private experience, but also get the full video, and it's easy to use. Everything's touchscreen. It's almost like an education for some people. So we see a lot of our casual customers, they're a little uncomfortable going to a window. They don't really want to do it on the app yet. It's a nice way to, get them involved and enjoy the fun of sports betting.
Our version of the ATM.
We were just discussing that yesterday.
Yeah.
And we're talking to Scott Butera, of course. It just makes it it's less intimidating maybe for some of the newer bettors.
Yeah. Well, it's like, remember going to a bank teller and then you had the ATM and now you do it all online? Same kind of process, and as people get comfortable with that, you'll see it more and more. But really, it's the whole ease of use and being able to do sports betting. Think about sports. Sports emanated in casinos here in Nevada. Why? Because we only had it in Nevada and we only had casinos, so it got stuck here, right? Sports betting is not really a casino game per se. If you go to Europe, you see it in arenas and stadiums and betting shops, and you're going to start to see that here now. If Illinois has passed legislation that allows for an arena, the NFL is publishing rules that allow for an arena, DC. So I really think, the ability to do sports betting, online at ease within your state, no matter where you are, I think is important to people, and we'll see it more.
Can we throw that up there, because if that's the interface, that is clean. The MGM app, which just launched, that is a clean app.
Yeah.
Scott, for those that want to find it, let's get basic here. How can they find the MGM
Just
app?
go to iOS or your Apple Store and you download BetMGM, Nevada in this case. Again, it's state by state, and then it'll walk you through a registration process, and you will have to come to one of our casinos. We have 12 of them on the Strip, and all of them are very nice, so maybe you can have a good experience with that. Actually, if you come down in the next couple of weeks, we have some specials going on, parking and some free drinks that you'll see as part of our promo. So a lot of reasons to come down and do it.
Conception to execution. Sorry, Amal. Conception to execution, because this is something I know we talked about a little bit the last time behind the scenes before you got here, but this looks amazing.
Yeah, this is why we did this joint venture, and I was asked, throughout the process, when's it coming, and we have a process of developing the app and getting regulatory approval, but it's here, and we couldn't be happier.
I love the kiosk. It makes it so much easier. And speaking from my own perspective, at least now I don't have to park illegally anymore. When you try to run in and make a bet, you have no idea how many fire lanes I've parked in. I mean, luckily I walk fast and run, so you got to get in and out. But I think it makes it so much easier from a player perspective.
It really does. And and for those who want to use cash, it allows for a cash option. But it's the whole experience. You're getting this really cool visual, with big screens
100%.
and ease of use. And like I say, the beauty of the kiosk, it gives you a little tutorial too. So if you're new to it, it's just a great way to get started.
But that's not it. And this is for friends from where I'm from. When we come back with Scott, there is huge news in the Midwest. And to me, for my family and friends, this is something that is groundbreaking. MGM is coming to you, and we'll tell you who that is coming up next. Scott Butera, of course, president of Interactive Gaming at MGM, of course, for MGM Resorts. Coming back, we've got an announcement for a particular state in the Midwest with MGM as we continue. It is My Guys in the Desert right here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. You missed anything, go to vsin.com. All the information for MGM's there as well. Scott Butera is here, president of Interactive Gaming for MGM Resorts, and we were talking about MGM launching the app here in Las Vegas, the kiosk all over town as well, but this is for my friends in Michigan, and this is exciting. Coming up on the 11th, there's something big going down at the MGM Casino.
Yeah, we're really excited. We're going to be launching BetMGM in Detroit at the Grand. We think we have outstanding property. We just invested millions of dollars in creating a sports book out there that'll rival any sports book here in Nevada. And what a better state. I mean, you talk about a great sports town. Michigan did a great job of passing legislation that allows for all kinds of betting, professional, amateur. I think we opened right in time for the Big Ten tournament. So for all you Big Blue or Spartan fans, get down there and make your bet. And super excited about what's going on there.
Michigan is a gambling state.
Well,
and MGM is going to be perfect. By the way, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but there's also going to be capabilities in Michigan, which is you go state to state with this legislation.
Yep.
In Michigan, there are app capabilities, and that's what's wonderful about MGM.
We're starting with retail, which is great for us because we think we have a ground zero property that's second to none. But within a year, we're going to have full mobile, and not only full mobile for sports betting, full mobile for iGaming, casino gaming that'll interact well with what we're doing there. And like I said, just about every option you can imagine. So Michigan it took an extra year. We thought we were going to have this a year ago, but we got it now, and we couldn't be happier.
Very user-friendly, too, in Michigan when they did pass the legislation. You get a lot of visitors there from over Windsor, from Canada
we do.
as well, right?
Windsor.
We do. And in fact, we're starting to see a lot of activity out of Ontario, I think, in response. And, that's a great thing. That's why I think this sports betting is going to evolve a lot more quickly than people thought. I think we could be at 40-plus states within a couple of years. And I know it was a little sluggish in the beginning because people were kind of learning what to do. But once everyone sees what's going on in their neighboring state, they're like, gosh, I got to get a piece of that. And, I'm not sure why New York and Massachusetts and some of those places have taken their time, but it's going to happen. And I've really seen a lot of momentum.
So the sportsbook is launching on the 11th. This is going to be a bonanza because, as you just mentioned, I looked it up. Big Ten basketball tournament starts on that Wednesday, March 11th. So MGM opens up there with betting at 1 p.m. Eastern. You can bet on the Big Ten tournament Wednesday going into the weekend as well.
Yeah, and show up at 1 because we're going to have a lot of really cool Detroit-based celebrities there to kick this thing off. So.
No, I'm jealous.
Those sports fans, you'll enjoy
Patrick
it.
Meagher one of them?
No, I won't be there. How about Barry Sanders?
All right.
Go ahead, Amal.
The lion, our symbol is the lion, so that's a good place for us to start.
I love it. I love it.
Scott's having a hard time relating to the people from Michigan. He's from Boston, where they win actual championships. I don't know what it's like in the state of Michigan.
Are we gonna get odds on Tom sticking around on the BetMGM app?
I'm from Boston, and one of my guilty pleasures, I listen to Boston Talk Radio morning drive. So I'm up at 3, listen to this stuff 24/7. I can't wait for it to be over. I don't even know where I stand anymore. I mean, it'd be great to see Tom back, but if he goes, maybe it'd be good to, try it again with some new people. But I guess we'll know in a couple weeks.
It's an epidemic. It's not the coronavirus. It's will Tom stay or leave, right?
Yeah, those are the two things that you hear on radio out there now: Tom Brady and coronavirus. So we'll see.
Now, Bill brought this up, and as far as once the Raiders get here and the kiosks and being able to bet mobilely here with MGM, what's going to be the presence there as far as
we're an enormous sponsor of the Raiders. We announced our sponsorship a couple weeks ago to great fanfare. And if you know anything about, Allegiant Stadium, it's literally right across the street from about 45,000 of our hotel rooms.
Yeah.
So, and not a lot of parking at that stadium, by the way, either. So we think there's going to be a lot of activity around the Raiders on our properties, obviously allowing people to bet on sports, while they're getting ready for a game or after a game. And the, relationship between Allegiant Stadium and our properties is going to be like this. It's amazing.
I love the way you guys have handled the post-game with hockey and with even after the fight the other night when Tyson Fury, they just kind of let everybody out that either you had to prepay or if you had an MGM Players card, you can get in and park there for free. It's been terrific.
Yeah.
And looking forward to it. Obviously, Allegiant Stadium being right across from Mandalay, how do you guys expect that to impact you guys? I would expect it's going to be
it's going to be huge.
Positive.
In fact, the main road there that crosses the street is going to come right into our property. We're going to have a huge, what we call Raider tailgate that's going to be phenomenal. It's going to cater to both Raider fans, and we're expecting a lot of visitor fans. If you go to a Knights game, you see a lot of folks from the other team, and take a place like Buffalo. Buffalo's got rabid fans. They do anything to get out of the cold. I was at a Knights Sabres game the other night, and I couldn't believe how many Buffalo. I'm just amazed what people from Buffalo would do to get the hell out of Buffalo on a winter day. But we're expecting.
Hey, careful! You're going to be in Buffalo in a little bit here.
Yeah, and we'll enjoy it. But it's a great town and great spirited fans. But the point is, we think we're going to see a lot of visitors as well. So we're going to really cater to both, and they'll be doing everything you can, including sports betting.
Stadium's coming along nicely. They had ALLE up yesterday.
Yeah.
We'll see if they get the G in the rest of it. I'll see.
But as a person that just moved here, 7 months ago, it is wild, Scott, to drive down and you're headed towards the Strip and just see the stadium's right there.
Right
but
there.
I want everybody outside of Las Vegas to understand it is sitting right there. You can go to bet on it right there at MGM. It's sitting literally right there off
the gentleman who's president of our property at Mandalay Bay says he parks his car like on the street there and looks to his left and sees the stadium and looks to his right and sees his property. He goes, how could this be any better? So
it's a pretty good sandwich.
It's going to be it's going to be a big driver of business for us, and it's not just the Raiders. You're going to have UNLV and all kinds of concerts and other entertainment.
Garth Brooks is going to open. It was announced. Garth Brooks is going to open.
Yeah, absolutely. So
a huge show.
It's a fabulous facility. It's state of the art in every way, and stadiums now are fun places. These aren't just places where you go sit in your seat, watch a game, and get a beer and a hot. These are entertainment zones, and we're just going to sort of be the pre and post for all of that.
So BetMGM is now live in Nevada, Jersey, which is killing it. All of my friends in New York, they wait to get to the state line, and then your app pops up, and they can bet immediately.
Well, we've even seen some train stations are converting some lounge areas within the station for sports betting. Getting pretty funky out there, but it's popular.
Also, West Virginia, Indiana, and again, just to get it straight, big news coming up on March 11th, launching in the state of Michigan
1 o'clock, be there.
MGM Grand.
Yep.
1 p.m. Be there. Maybe you and I will go, Amal.
You know, I made my one annual trip to Michigan last year for the Ohio State
Here it
Michigan
comes.
game. That's good enough for at least another 24 months.
They want you back, Amal.
Here it comes.
Well, you know, actually, I should go. It was a successful trip, so it could be a winning enterprise there. But, you know, you guys have done a terrific job with this. I'm speaking from a player's perspective. One of the things I like on your app is that you have the ability to just click on a game. It takes you into that profile of first half, entirety of the game, total, everything. I love how user-friendly it is.
Yeah.
Did you guys take input from players, or how did you guys come up with the design of this? Because I think it is very user-friendly.
we've had a lot of history in sports betting, and we know, a lot of the big sports bettors. And one of the things we're really trying to do is capture a lot of this locals market. Those are the folks we love, people who really know the sport. So we listen to what do people want to do, and it was both the experienced gamer as well as the casual gamer. And what we see is we try and make festivals out of our sporting events, right? So the more options you have, the more things you want to try. You'll be watching the game, maybe you see some tendencies, something you want to bet on, and it'll be right there for you.
I do have one gripe. During the fight, I had to go all the way back to the sports book. I was hoping you guys might have a little mobile kiosk. I may have missed it for the fight.
No, we just rolled those out, so those will be live next week.
And by the way, there's more than 100 of them, so you got them all over.
Yeah, there's a little over 100. They're all up and down the strip.
And I will say, I'm glad you brought that up. The cleanness and the execution of the app. You know how you download them and you press it and wait for the X, and I get rid of them if they're not clean. And the MGM app is about as clean as they come.
It's got to be user friendly. It's got to be easy.
Yeah.
What I like is that your player card number is the same as your account number. So one time I was playing poker and I didn't have my player card with me, and I didn't want them to reprint me one.
Right.
So I just give them that number right off the app. It was so convenient.
And that's even going to get better. That's a technology that we're going to continue to work on because, again, we want seamless integration between what you're doing online betting and what you can do at our property. So,
by the way, I wish you guys would start charging for the player's card, and then I would actually bring mine to the Bellagio.
The exclusive.
Well, no, I never take it. I'm like, I probably have 75 of them at home.
Scott, talk a little bit more about, you talked about the accounts and how to fund it. Now here, obviously in Nevada, we have to become funded live and everything.
Right.
There's some other states, there's other more remote ways, more convenient ways, and I think that's another thing we're going to have to adapt here. So.
And that's been something we've been talking to, Nevada about and the regulators about one day is, I think it was an old practice where they wanted to see you to verify you and make sure you're of age and, a legitimate person, I suppose. But now everything is done online, and it's so much easier to check records and trace things online. And that's why places like New Jersey get comfortable with it. So, again, I think all of these things will, sort of all come into balance over time.
I don't know how you forecast it, but betting in Michigan, the casinos, when I was a kid, they popped up, and BetMGM Grand is literally, that's where my friends and family go. I can't imagine what sports betting is going to do when it launches on the 11th.
Yeah, I think it's going to be huge. Like I said, we invested a lot of money in that book, so it's going to be a really cool, fun place. And, what a better place to go see March Madness, especially if you're a Big Ten fan.
Well, you think about Michigan as a state, from a collegiate and professional standpoint, probably has the biggest following on both levels, right? New England, it's all pro sports.
Yeah, New England's all pro. Right.
All pro sports. And then Midwest and the South are all collegiate sports.
Yeah.
But in terms of the state of Michigan, with the two big universities there, you've got those Central, Eastern, and Western as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a huge college town and a pro
Absolutely.
town.
A lot of it has to do with the quality of the teams, too. It's interesting. I saw before I came in here that Modell's Sporting Goods Companies is filing bankruptcy, and they're blaming it on the lousy New York teams that no one wants to buy jerseys. So, I think, obviously having a lot of excitement around your team, it's a good thing. And Michigan's got, I think they need a little bit of help on the pro side. It's unusual to see the Red Wings not doing so well. But they'll get there, and it is a great. They're just rabid fans, and they're going to love this.
Oh, no, it was at the lunch table. It was maize and blue on one side, green and white on the other side, and then Lions, Honolulu blue. It's nonstop. It's going to be awesome.
It's so sad, though.
Why?
Kids grow up not understanding how to win. I mean, that's just you want them to be winners.
Scott's got it too good from New England.
I felt that way when I was a long time rooting for the Red Sox, and I remember my grandfather died. It was his dream to see him win, and it never happened, and I had just given up, right? But miracles happen. So Maybe one day the Lions win the Super Bowl.
Don't say that. You just cursed yourself. The app has officially launched. The MGM sports betting app has officially launched here in Nevada. Make sure you check it out. Also, when you're coming to town, there's going to be 100 kiosks all over the place, a little bit more than 100. And coming up on the 11th, this is the huge news for my family and friends. MGM Grand, which is the best casino out there, there's going to be a sports book, and it's going to be run by MGM, and it's going to be the best. Okay, so make sure you check that out as well. Scott Butera, president of Interactive Gaming for MGM Resorts. Thank you for coming by, Scott.
No, thanks for having me. Love my guys in the desert. Keep it going.
There it is.
Love
it is my guys. Tremendous job by Scott. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.